Welcome. My name is Michael Mastro. I'm with Transformational Vedic Astrology. Today we're going to look at the chart for Prince Charles, who just tested positive for the coronavirus. This is March 25th, 2020. He was born November 14th in 1948 at 2100 hours in London. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you can see the constellation associated with Cancer rising at 12 degrees. 12 degrees becomes unique to his chart, and any planet within 5 degrees of 12 degrees has a lot of impact on his chart, like Saturn, like Mercury, like K2, and Rahu. So let's look and see how the planets are operating, and then we'll look and see when they're operating, and then we can see what remedial measures would support improving the karma for this chart. So first off, we want to see where the Multikona signs are, where they fall. These numbers represent signs, and for example, Venus rules two signs, Libra and Taurus, and but Libra has the closest affinity to Venus. So Taurus does not become a Multikona sign. So the Multikona signs, and remember these numbers represent signs, not houses. So there are 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Those are the Multikona signs. So each of these houses represents some aspect of our life, and wherever you see those Multikona signs are what this person is working on in this lifetime. So he's working on wealth and recognition and continuation of the marital bond. And he had a couple of marriages. Then we see the seventh sign of Libra in the fourth house, family, harmony in the family, happiness, vehicles, property, all things he's working on in this life. You see the ninth sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. This house has to do with conflict in marriage, divorce. It has to do with fire, theft, and cheating, and health and healing. So he's a big proponent of homeopathy. Then you see the 11th sign of Aquarius in the 8th house. So working on a lot of vulnerability issues with inheriting the throne, becoming king. He's involved in the occult sciences, challenges in the marriage, in relationships. Then you see that, and so working on trying to find his career and life purpose. Cancer is ruled by Moon, so really working on longevity, health, and what he came here to do. So any Multikona sign that falls in the Dusthana houses, the challenging houses that help us grow, its 6th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house, becomes malefic, a functional malefic. So, most people consider that Jupiter is benefic for every chart, but not in the Cancer chart, because it's sitting, it's in the house of delays, debts, conflicts, fire, theft, and cheating. So Jupiter becomes a functional malefic. And then you see Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, sitting in the 8th house. So 8th house has to do with death-like experiences, challenges, accidents, obstacles. So Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and K2 for every chart are all the functional malefics. The rest are benefic planets. That does not mean that they'll always be giving good results in the transit or natal chart. If they're afflicted by a malefic, then they could be giving some, they could become weak and not protect or promote their own significations. And that does not mean the malefics will always cause harm. When they're not within 5 degrees by aspect or conjunction of another planet, then they're considered benign. So, same thing with Rahu and Ketu. However, Rahu and Ketu are within 5 degrees of the most effective point. So they are afflicting 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So Rahu is afflicting career. He had issues in his career. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 issues in his marriage with the recognition. 6, 7 issues in the family. And 8, 9 issues with conflict and divorce. And they can do the same thing with K2. So family is disturbed, afflicted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Challenges in the marriage, 6, 7. Challenges in the career, 8, 9. And, divorce, end of marriage, separations, things like that. So let's just go through and see how the planets are operating. So any planet that's less than 5 degrees is said to be in infant state. It cannot protect or promote its own significations. And any planet that's in old age, more than 25 degrees, 25 to 30 or to 29 degrees, also cannot protect or promote its own significations. So Sun is ruling the house of wealth and recognition and continuation of the marital bond. It's placed in the house of family and happiness. So it gives wealth through family and through the government. He's part of the royal family. And then, but lack of support from father. Son is father. So they had a very contentious relationship. His father was constantly criticizing him. And the lack of stability in the marriage. So all of that comes from Sun. Moon is at 7 degrees, and it is ruling, it rules Cancer, basically. So it's in that first house. So it gives life purpose through helping others, the public, through charities. He's a very gentle, sensitive guy, very compassionate nature. People thought he was a little too gentle to be king, but he's really working on raising public awareness around the environment and the issues in the environment. Looking at the Green New Deal and solar power, etc. Mars is at 27 degrees, also in old age, and it rules the career house. So it gave him, his, early career in the military, and then it's placed in the house of investments. So he helped people, invested in startups, helped people get small businesses started. Yep. Then Mercury is at 13 degrees, close to the most effective point, and it's afflicted by K2. So 11 and 13, they're within 2 degrees. So Mercury is all about business and communication, writing, fine arts, performing arts, healing arts. He's into homeopathy, started his own organic food company, and he has a sensitive digestion, so he's a very picky eater, again with this weak sun ruling the second house of food. And and then that brings those issues into the home life. So, that critical, the press has been very critical of him, whether he's worthy of becoming king. And he's probably very critical of Diana and didn't give her enough attention. So, like that. So Jupiter is at 6 degrees. It's ruling the house of health, healing, and divorce, and all of that. And it's placed in its own house, which gives it some strength. So, and there's also legal issues with the inheritance and his children, some conflict with children there. Venus is at 23 degrees, and he spends a lot of time educating people. Jupiter educating people about the environment, but definitely related to divorce and conflict in his relationship. Venus's wife. So it's at 23 degrees, and it is ruling the house of happiness and home life in that third house of business and communication. Mercury, again, weak because it's afflicted. So the landlord of this house is weak. So that makes Venus weak. So it caused delay in the marriage, second marriage, issues with the marriage, issues with the wife, but beautiful wife. Venus represents beauty. Saturn's at 12 degrees, again, ruling this house of obstacles and challenges and death-like experiences. So Jupiter is afflicting 5, 7, 9 houses away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Afflicting Moon 6, 7, 8, 9. Then Saturn is close to the most effective point. So it's afflicting the marriage, 1, 2, 3. The home life, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 3 houses, 3, 7, and 10 houses away. So afflicting home life, happiness, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can afflict its own house. 8, 9, 10, afflicting relationships again, friends. So it gave him some service and recognition, but definitely some involvement in occult and a secret relationship with Camilla for many years. So that all from Saturn probably caused delays in the second marriage. Because people didn't approve, probably married the first person for because of the pressure to get married, and it wasn't the right choice, but he was pressured into it. So all of that. Rahu and Ketu, we see they're afflicting 5, 7, 9 houses away. This access gives constantly trying to balance career with home life. Probably not paying enough attention to his kids until after Diana died. Then he finally paid attention to his sons, not paying enough attention to Diana, focused on career. So those are how the planets are operating. Then let's look and see, the events in his life. Well, he got divorced in 96 during a Rahu period. Rahu is, again, afflicting this house, stability in the marriage. Then he fell off a horse and he broke a rib at some other point during a Rahu-Saturn period. Saturn is accidents. Then just recently he tested positive for the coronavirus a couple days ago during a Jupiter period, Jupiter K2 period. So Jupiter is health, so health issues. K2, unexpected events. Could be affecting his whole family since he tested positive. Let's look at the hold on a second. Let's look at the transit chart. So this is a circular chart. The outer circle is where the planets are today. The inner circle is the natal chart, or where the planets were when he was born. So if we look to starting yesterday or the day before, Moon, K2 affliction. Moon is health, the general health. K2, unexpected events. And then Mars would be career. And then let's see what else we got here. Probably didn't get it, but a couple weeks ago. So that's a Mars K2 affliction. And then if we go in between, let's see what else is going on. Oops, I'm in the wrong month here. Hold on, sorry about that. Yeah, I knew there was more to it than that. So we're here, March 4th. Okay, here. So we have Jupiter, Mars affliction. So Jupiter cannot afflict its own house, but it can afflict Mars. That's career. And again, natal Jupiter, which is health, afflicted by K2. And that stays that way for a while. That's within 5 degrees. And then as we see, if we progress to see when he's going to get better, then Mars starts to afflict Saturn, which is also, disease, corona disease. And then they'll pull away. Let's see, that's by mid-April. And then let's see what else is going on. Yeah, he may not have huge issue. It's just that this natal Jupiter and K2 are, really tight for a while because they're very slow moving. Jupiter's not going to move, the natal Jupiter, and K2 is slow moving. So that could create some issues there. But I would say when they do finally pull apart, let's see how that would be. May. Then Sun goes in the 12th house. That one may not be good for health either, but I would say he's probably not going to have huge issues, but definitely out of the woods by July. But that K2 stays close to the Jupiter. We'll have to watch. I will pray that he stays happy and healthy, and his family as well. Thank you guys for listening. My name is, again, Michael Mastro with Transformational Vedic Astrology. You can see this astrology is very accurate. If you would like a chart read, you can go to www.vastucreations.com. And under services, you can get any kind of astrology reading. Or if you'd like to learn Transformational Vedic Astrology, you can see it cuts right to the chase. You can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. And again, thank you for listening.